Hey everyone out there. Look, I happen to catch Lust Stories on Netflix. It is an original content created by the platform, sharing 4 emotionally rich stories that revolve around the physical need. You guessed it, lust. So Lust Story is more than the subject, as actually also about the narrative that has been put on the screen by 4 of the top directors in India, which is why I really like it. Very good job there, Netflix, getting Indian directors to do this. So let's talk about it. First of all, the first segment is directed by Anurag Kashyap and stars Radhika Apte and Akash Tulsar of the Sarat fame. Radhika plays a married professor whose husband is settled abroad. She has a fling with a young student played by Akash. And though she's convinced it's just a fling, she is protective of the level of being possessive about her. So, she gets really possessive in that regard. This segment is the most mature out of all the stories, in my opinion, because I think the director, Anurag Kashyap, presents his take on the age gap and polygamy very well, in terms of as to how a woman can get attracted to 2 men at the same time, as opposed to the normal polygamy narratives we usually see of its men being attracted to multiple women. So it's the roles are reversed. I love that. Radhika Apte as Kalindi, of course, is in terrific form. I definitely think that it's easily among her top 3 performances till date, without question. She is, of course, very eye-pleasing, very naturally eye-pleasing at that, and pretty effortless on the camera. She's a born actress. Easily one of the best India has to offer, in my opinion. The second segment is directed by Zoya Akhtar, the woman who directed actually one of my favorite Bollywood movies called Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. Apologies for the names again. I always apologize whenever I talk about these things, but it's just I have a really hard time with pronunciations. But Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, it's actually a travel adventure flick, which is why I like it. But now this tale in the second segment is actually a tale of lust and repression between a domestic worker and a boss, which is, I think, very cool. Interesting. Bhumi Pednekar, or I guess you could say Bhumi Padnekar, probably be the better way to pronounce it, plays a duty-bound servant of the house who's just used by his boss, who's played by Neil Bupalam, for physical gratification, all behind closed doors, of course. Ironically, though, she is more vocal on the bed and a complete mute off it, which is an interesting dynamic, especially, of course, when guests come over for an arranged marriage proposal for her boss. Meekly, she goes through the motions of serving the potential bride and her family snacks and tea, bearing her own feelings to nothingness, which just creates an amazing palette of emotional drama on the screen. It's very bold. It's a very aching segment, actually, what I just talked about. And this one has Bhumi Padnekar hardly saying a dialogue of words or 2, but conveying everything with her eyes and body language, which I think is brilliant. The third segment is directed by Dibakar Banerjee, which I actually felt might have been the best one out of the lot. Not necessarily the most mature, but the best one. It stars Manisha Koirala, Sanjay Kapoor, of course, and Jaydeep Aliwat. Anything with Kapoor, it's going to be good. Come on. Manisha plays a middle-aged mother of 2 kids who is having an affair with the best friend of her husband. Manisha seems wary of course, the constant suspicion and the guilt embedded in her affair and decides to break it off to her blissfully ignorant husband's not knowing, who's actually sitting under the roof of his best friend's house. What is interesting, though, that I like about this is the sexual tension and the anticipation around the narrative. Full marks to the 3 people in this for keeping me completely on the edge, keeping all of us on the edge that watch it, because I guarantee you'll be the same, feeling the same way. So, the fourth and final segment is directed by Karan Johar, and it's dished out with lots of sauciness. Unlike the other 3 that are more serious in nature, this one has a lot more, spice to it. I guess that might be the word I'm looking for. Could be wrong there. It features Kiara Advani, Nia Dupia, and Vicky Kaushal. And the setting of the movie itself would have actually probably evoked some controversy in India had it not been on Netflix, and I'll get to that in a moment. The naive character played by Kiara Advani looks up to the independent thinking, libidinous Neha Dupia. Kiara's own sex life with her husband, Vicky, is great, shakes, but only for him. And then one fine day, Kira learns the art of taking things on her own hand, excuse the pun, from Neha Dupia, when she finds all of a sudden herself in a wave of self-pleasure in the school library. And what later happens with Kira is actually kind of a laugh riot. Though it's not the most original one, it's still really funny. I mean, I should just say, in general, Bollywood characters are finally giving themselves oh god, terrible to puns here, but helping hand. Be it Verity Wedding or Swara Bhaskara, which I just talked about. or Lust Stories with Kiara Advani, it looks like we're actually kind of seeing, females get kind of a sense of power and real display of emotions in Bollywood films, which I think is great. So, can I watch Lust Stories with my family? That's probably what you're asking. Of course, but as long as they're adults, shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, maybe one steamy scene involving Bhumi Pednekar. That one might be a little hard even with adults, but the rest of the movies can be watched, without feeling kind of cringy about it. If I had to choose among the best performances, I'd probably give it hands down, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, hands down, easily, Radhika Apte, followed by Manisha Koirala, Bhumi Pednekar, and Kiara Advani. The ladies, again, I just give hats off. They've done a fantastic job in the film. And among the guys, of course, Sanjay Kapoor. He's the dude. He's the man. My favorite segments in their respective order would be the third one, followed by the first, followed by the fourth, and lastly the second one. But how about you? Have you watched Lust Stories on Netflix? Or, if you haven't, or if you have, do watch it. And please, 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 please let me know your comments in the section below. And thanks, guys. You have a good one. Take care.